Welcome back to Mailbox Corner, the podcast where we dive into all things postal, packaging, and delivery. I'm Jake.
And I'm Emily. Today, we're tackling a topic that's all too familiar for anyone who's eagerly awaited a package in the mail, that mysterious tracking status from Australia Post, in transit to next facility.
Ah, yes, the anticipation builds. You're checking your tracking updates every hour, and then you see it, in transit to next facility. But what does that actually mean? And why does it seem like your package is taking a world tour before it gets to you?
Great questions, Jake. Essentially, when you see this status, it means your package is on the move. It's left one sorting center and is en route to another for further processing. It's a sign that things are progressing, albeit sometimes slower than we'd like.
So it's kind of like a baton pass in a relay race. The package is handed off from one sorting center to the next, moving closer to its final destination.
Exactly. And while it's reassuring to know your package hasn't just vanished into thin air, this status can sometimes linger for days, leaving recipients wondering if their package is stuck in postal limbo.
That sounds frustrating. But why would a package get stuck with this status? What's going on behind the scenes?
There are a few reasons. One possibility is that the package wasn't scanned properly at the next facility. Without that scan, the tracking status won't update, even though your package might still be on its way.
Ah, the old missing scan scenario. That makes sense. What about distance? Could the space between sorting facilities play a role?
Definitely. The longer the distance between facilities, the longer it might take for your package to reach the next stop. And sometimes, if the next facility is too busy, your package might even be rerouted to a different location to keep things moving.
Interesting. So it's not just about how far your package has to travel, but also about how busy these sorting centers are.
Right. And let's not forget about other potential delays like bad weather or, heaven forbid, an accident involving the delivery vehicle. These unexpected events can really throw a wrench in the works.
I hadn't thought about that. It's like a whole ecosystem of factors that can affect where your package is and how quickly it gets to you.
Exactly. And during peak times like the holiday shopping season, these issues can compound, leading to significant backlogs at sorting centers.
So what should someone do if their package seems to be stuck in transit to next facility for an unusually long time?
The best course of action is to contact the sender, especially if it's been several days past the expected delivery date. Unfortunately, contacting Australia Post directly might not be as helpful since they typically deal with the sender, not the recipient.
That's a good tip. It's always better to go through the proper channels to get things resolved. Now I'm curious, have any of our listeners experienced this in-transit to next facility status for an extended period? What was your experience like?
Yes, we'd love to hear your stories. Share them with us on social media or through our podcast platform. Your experiences could help shed more light on this common but often misunderstood tracking status.
It sounds like there's a whole world behind that in-transit to next facility status that most of us never even consider. From missed scans to long distances, bad weather, and even the occasional lost package, it's a wonder anything gets delivered on time.
It really puts into perspective the complexity of what seems like a simple delivery process. And speaking of lost packages, that's another scenario that can cause delays. Sometimes packages get misplaced at the sorting center, especially the smaller ones that can slip through the cracks, literally.
That must be so frustrating, both for the sender and the recipient. But it's comforting to know that these issues are usually resolved, even if it takes a bit longer than expected.
Absolutely. And for our listeners out there, if you're facing a prolonged in-transit to next facility status, remember Emily's advice. Reach out to the sender. They're your best bet for getting an update or resolution.
Right. And while we're on the topic, let's not forget about those location-specific updates, like when a package is in transit to next facility in Welshpool, WA, or in Sydney West, NSW. Those updates give us a clue about where our package is heading next.
Exactly, Jake. Those updates are more than just random locations. They indicate the package's next stop in its journey towards you. It's fascinating how each step is tracked, giving us a glimpse into the route our packages take.
So whether your package is braving the elements, navigating through busy sorting centers, or making its way across long distances, it's all part of the journey to your doorstep. It's a reminder of the incredible logistics involved in getting our parcels from A to B.
And that's why patience is key. But of course, if there's an unusual delay, taking action by contacting the sender is the right move. Now we're curious, have any of our listeners had a package routed through Welshpool WA or Sydney West NSW? What was that like?
Yes, share your experiences with us. Whether it's a tale of a package taking the scenic route or a story of unexpected delays, we want to hear it all. Your stories help us all understand the complexities of postal delivery a bit better.
And who knows? Your experience might just be the key to unraveling the mysteries of the in-transit to next facility status for someone else. So don't hesitate to reach out on social media or through our podcast platform.
Well, Emily, it seems like there's a lot to consider when a package is in transit to next facility. But I think what our listeners really want to know is, what can they actually do if their package seems to be stuck in this status for too long?
That's a great point, Jake. If you find yourself in this situation, the first step is to check the expected delivery date. If it's been several days past that date, the best action is to contact the sender directly.
Contacting the sender, huh? Why is that the recommended approach?
Well, the reason is that Australia Post typically deals with the sender rather than the recipient. So if there's an issue with the delivery, the sender is in a better position to communicate with Australia Post and find out what's going on.
I see. So reaching out to the sender could potentially get you more detailed information or even a resolution faster than if you tried to handle it yourself.
Exactly. And in many cases, the sender might offer to send a replacement package or provide a refund, depending on the situation. It's all about maintaining good customer service.
That makes sense. It's reassuring to know there are steps you can take to address the issue. Now, I'm curious, Emily, have you ever had to contact a sender about a package stuck in transit to next facility?